Today, we're going to learn how to install R and Rstudio. The first thing that we're going to do is install R. There's lots of different ways that you can get to R. One is to just say R project, and that will open up the R project for statistical computing in Google. That website looks like this. Now what I'm going to do is download R. And in order to do that, I have to select a location to download it from. Because I'm in the US, I'm going to download it from Iowa State University. They tend to be pretty fast. You can get pre-compiled versions, pre-compiled binary distributions. That just basically means software. And you'll see that there's a link that says install R for the first time. That takes us to the download. Current version of R is 4.0.2, so I'm going to download that version for Windows. And it's going to start downloading and opening here. I'm going to use open when done in order to start the installation process. And once that starts, the installer is going to ask if I want to allow this app to make any changes to my device. I do. So I'm going to OK that. I want to set it up in English. I'm OK with the GNU public license. And I'm going to put it in the standard folder. Now I've done this before, so it's asking me, do I want to install to that folder anyway? I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to let it go with the defaults. It will then proceed to extract all the files it needs from the downloaded file and put them in the proper places on the computer in order to make it run. Now you can run the R computing environment by itself, but it's even better when combined with Rstudio. So that's where I'm going to go to next. Now R is itself an open source project. Rstudio is a commercial product, but it has a free version which has most of the things that you'll need in order to effectively use R. So this is what the Rstudio homepage looks like. It'll of course change over time. I'm interested in the products, so I'm going to hover over products on the menu and go to Rstudio. Now I should mention rstudio.com is a commercial company. It will change its website over time. So if things are slightly different than what you see in this video, don't panic. Just go and find Rstudio desktop, not the server version. When I click on this, you'll see it will take me to something that has a couple choices. For our purposes, we want the free choice. You don't want to be paying $995 a year. So we're going to download from the free. It's going to give me one more chance to pay for it. I still don't want to pay for it. I'm going to go for the free version. And in this case, it has found that I have a Windows system, and so it's going to recommend the Download Studio for Windows. You can see that if it was wrong, and if I had Mac OS, for instance, I could go ahead and download a DMG file for a Mac installation instead. But since I do have a Windows machine, I'm going to download Rstudio for Windows. As before, I'm going to open when done, because I trust Rstudio not to install malware on my computer. And as soon as it's done downloading, it will open up and we'll go through the same procedure that we had to go through with R. First thing it's going to do is ask me to make changes to my device, to which I say yes. And now it's going to welcome me to the setup. I'm going to use the standard folder, standard start menu folder. And just as with R, what's going to happen is it's going to extract all of the files from the file that I just downloaded and put them into the proper position for Rstudio. Rstudio is a little bigger than R, but it's not a huge program. You can see that it's 171 megabytes. So it's big, but it's not an enormous program. And now it is installed. There is a shortcut because I selected to put a shortcut. That is the Rstudio logo, which is a blue circle with a white R in the middle. And if I press that, it will open up Rstudio with its various panes. And now I can start doing some statistics. Perhaps I have some measurements and I want the mean and standard deviation of those measurements. Okay, R is working. So that's how you get a working R and RStudio environment. And now we're ready to do some data science.